Cindy, if you want, the agenda, there's some extra copies in here.
Okay. Is Dr. Caldwell gonna do that?
I don't know, she's not on service, I'm not sure if she's here or not.
Was she in Hattiesburg?
They don't, maybe Meridian, they go to Meridian.
Yeah. I'll look there, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Anyway,
She's
we have
horrible at
more.
checking her emails, so.
We have more than enough. Wow.
And Jeannie, I realized I never responded to you
I'm
last
telling you,
week,
Cindy, it's
and I'm
just
sorry.
what I'm seeing.
I was off on Friday, and,
maybe
I had my daughter with me, so I was trying to wait until
You see, today
we got
he
done,
said
and then
he
I
told us
forgot.
He was 71, so his, retirement, 68,000, and he killed himself. in
Alrighty.
Okay,
Oh, wait a minute, I don't know.
are we?
He's supposed to come in here and give us a sign when he turns
He
up.
came to that, though.
Oh, did he? Okay, go ahead.
All right, so we will call our meeting to order since it is exactly 1:00. And would someone, I was thanking my Pastor Collins, to say the invocation or prayer. Prayer.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm rolling with the Hail Mary then.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so, Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for our sinners now and at the hour of our death. Okay, so now we'll, do I have a motion to, has everybody had a chance to review the minutes from our last meeting? Which looks like we got a really extended.
We had two. I sent minutes from the morning session, and then yesterday we sent minutes from the afternoon session. So that's on your back.
Right.
Yeah, so there should be two in
Right,
there.
right.
So, the great thing about YouTube is that it does, what's it called? It transcribes it. So even though it's a little bit, more work for, wonderful Sarah back there, you can capture a lot of the discussion, correct?
Otherwise, it's short, you don't get the gist of the meeting.
Right, so both of the things that you have is a complete transcript of the morning and the afternoon session.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, so, which, yeah, is gonna go into a lot of, things. And Sarah, do you know, is this gonna, the minutes, are they normally posted on the website?
They are, I just sent a list of the rest that are missing, Jeremy, so you
Okay,
have it all updated.
okay, thank you. I make a motion to accept both minutes from the morning and the afternoon session.
Do we have a second? We have a second, all in favor? So we will accept the minutes as. Okay, and I believe that the youth court meeting update, I want to say we have, is the letter attached?
Yes, it's in here.
Okay, so has everyone had a chance to review the response that was received from Judge Dickinson? Right.
Where was that?
Where that is.
It's the public records.
Well, that was
Oh,
not the
that,
same one.
I did not include that,
You did
because
not.
that was
What
a,
did y'all get? I have that request.
that email I sent to the Blue Ribbon Committee only.
Okay, gotcha. Has, everybody had a chance to review that?
No,
That's on the committee?
no, we don't get a chance to look
Okay,
at it.
well, that's,
No, that was the one that came to me, and I just sent it to the Blue Ribbon as a FYI.
Okay, I thought I thought there was a request to actually have a meeting, Dr. Caldwell and Beck.
right,
We're
but
gonna,
he sent back, the letter to Dr. Caldwell.
okay, that's the response.
That's the response.
Okay. And I sent it to him. Jeannie.
Right,
And
'cause
then I sent it to you guys,
Right,
and that was just,
kind of went over I could pull up the email.
But there's no, meeting date.
There's no meeting date.
So are y'all gonna renew your request to meet with him?
Well, I wanted to talk with Dr. Caldwell to see going forward. I was hoping we could kind of maybe talk about the letter today, or the response that we received.
Is this the response from
It was sent to Dr. Caldwell. It copied me, Roger Wilder, and.
Right, it was Don Schnocker. I want to say this was sent out,
about a month ago, or it was after the
it
last
was after
meeting.
our last meeting. I want to say maybe 2 weeks ago, somewhere in there.
I didn't read it today.
Let me. Jeannie, you sent it?
I sent it to you.
Okay,
I
so
sent it to all the
let me pull it up.
committee.
I'm gonna pull it up that way. Here we go, the court reply.
No, that's the one I
That's
just
the one you
showed
just
you.
showed.
That's the only one I see.
Response to questions. This is it.
Right, the one from the last meeting. That's, Robert's
That's not it
response.
either. Thank you.
Let's see if I can pull it up.
This is going back. Could have sent.
Jeannie, I think I sent it to you.
You did send it to me, and then I forwarded it
And
to,
it's been about 2 weeks.
I forwarded
Yeah,
it
that's what I
to the
thought.
whole committee. And, let me see if I can pull it up
Here
here.
it is.
I sent a lot of emails to you.
I know it's not that.
Okay, so,
Here it is. Dear Dr. Caldwell, I hope all is well with you. He was not able to attend the meeting, well, basically unable to attend these meetings. He does try to listen with great interest and respect to discussions during recent meetings. I respectfully offer the following comments. Chancery access to my kids. The view has been held that chancellors should have access to that, to the records. Although the current practice, based on the language of the disclosure statute, and he states the statute, 4321-261, is for specific youth court records to be requested or subpoenaed from the youth court, followed by an order of disclosure entered in the child's youth court case. While it has been and will continue to be my practice to grant access to youth court records to any chancellor who requests such records, I certainly agree that it makes more sense for chancellors to have access to my kids. He serves on the Youth Court Rules Committee, and they are in the process of updating those rules. And one of the things that they plan on addressing at those rules is that chancellors have access to my kids.
Okay, can I just comment on that?
Yeah.
I have gotten 3 different answers to who can grant access. One, the administrative office of the courts. That's what CPS thinks. Then somebody else, AOC thought it was the Supreme Court that had to grant it. And then Tim Holloman spoke to the Chief Justice for me, and he thought it was a legislative change. So I can't get a answer as to who can give me access. So I'm just gonna request a legal opinion, since I've gotten 3 different
answers.
AOC, Supreme Court, legislature.
Right.
So I don't know which one.
Right, so, and I guess what he's referring to about the rules, he's looking at possibly
Youth court.
changing. Right,
But.
but would that would
That
not,
wouldn't do it,
that
it's a
wouldn't do it.
legislative, yeah, so
Gotcha.
we need to find out
It doesn't require a legislative change,
if a rule
Because that's a
change
whole
could do
different
it, the
thing.
Supreme Court could do it. you
right,
know,
who can do it?
Who can do it?
Okay. All right, so we will have to get an opinion on that. Babies born who test positive for drugs. The response was that a positive drug test for marijuana in a newborn or parent is not sufficient on its own to establish probable cause for child removal. Probable cause for unlawful use of any controlled substance may be based upon the newborn's positive drug screen for a controlled substance that was used unlawfully only if the child is in danger of a significant risk of harm, or the parent is unable to provide proper care or supervision of the child because of the unlawful use, and there is no reasonable alternative to custody, with emphasis added. He went on to say that he understands that people were concerned about that, and that he has written to the legislature, basically that he would follow whatever the legislature
So
says.
what he's saying is it requires
This
math
and this.
and no
Right.
utilities,
But
or something
so-
similar.
So my question on that, if I could bring up a
Oh,
question.
yes,
for discussion.
absolutely.
My question would be, as it relates to that, if we now have a law that says if you sell fentanyl to someone and that person dies, you're then charged with murder. I believe they just recently did that. So I'm confused as to, with respect to a child testing positive for fentanyl is not taken with the same grain of seriousness to which gravity that you would if someone died. In
Doesn't make sense.
well, no, I mean, if you think about it, a child's not saying, "Hey, yeah, I'd like to try fentanyl," but someone else might say, be thinking that's another drug. They may take it, and then subsequently bad things happen and they die.
That's a good point.
So I don't know if maybe there might, it made me start to think, do we need legislative change to where the fentanyl specifically, someone baby testing positive for that at birth, that in and of itself is sufficient.
I think the statute is confused. That's what I've requested. a
Yeah.
legal
Right, and we
opinion on.
haven't gotten a legal opinion
No,
on
I've
that.
gotten one that we'll go over in a minute,
Right.
but I don't think it needs a legislative change. I think that statute pertains to marijuana.
Right, you too.
the interpretation.
Right.
Right, so, I don't know, does that need to be cleared up somehow?
I always thought that was just for marijuana. I didn't realize that some of the youth court judges was taking it to include all the other drugs.
Well, not all of them do.
Well, I'm just saying I said some youth court judges. So isn't it in itself that if a baby that is born positive for, let's say, methamphetamine, or a child that is in custody, lives with a parent, it tests positive for methamphetamine, which we're getting a lot of cases that the children are testing positive. Why can't that be considered a horrific abuse and neglect?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, Judge, but I think it's subjective to the individual youth court judge.
Yes,
absolutely,
So
it
to
is.
say that, I'm just doing what the legislature has put into law, I think is a moot and unfair point to try to make, because it is up to the youth court judge if there is neglect, if there is
Right.
and a nexus. It is to y'all's discretion, correct, or youth court judge's discretion?
They're all, yes, and I don't think that it requires a legislative change.
It doesn't.
You just need to enforce the statute.
That's right.
And that statute applies to marijuana.
Only.
I mean,
Right.
and that's what I'm hoping they come out with and say. And
In the
legal
opinion.
So where did it get skewed? If that
It
is in
never
fact-
was skewed when I was there, and I don't wanna jump into that, but, you know, this is very important.
Yeah.
In several meetings, Robert, the CPS attorney, has discussed the standing order.
Safety plan.
The safety plan standing.
Right,
order.
yes.
Y'all know what we're
Yes,
talking about.
yes.
I think he even said at one of the meetings that it had gone up the hierarchy at CPS and come back down. Do y'all remember that?
Yes.
Okay. So, Carla Pope, former chair of the committee, made a public records request, as Tim Holloman told y'all to do.
Right.
In the public records request, it says a blank copy of the standing order from youth court for hospitals to be included in the safety plan for discharge. We just want to see the form, not any patient information. So she gets back from Valerie,
It's protected.
that it is protected.
I saw it.
So when we got that back from Valerie, I sent it to Tim Holloman. Okay, Tim Holloman wrote Valerie and said, Valerie, the attached public records request in your response was sent to me for review. You cited Mississippi Code annotated blah, blah, blah as a basis for not producing the records because they were exempt. Mississippi Code blah, blah, blah exempts records involving children shall not be disclosed. As I read the request for public records, they specifically ask for a blank copy of the standing order to hospitals being used by the youth court and specifically not on any patient or child. I do not see how Mississippi Code blah, blah, blah exempts from such disclosure. Please produce a blank copy of a standing order requested or explain how you assert this exemption applies to such a document. And so Val, and I have a copy of all of this for y'all. Val sends it to Judge Dickinson, the judge, I received the email below from Mr. Holloman. And Judge Dickinson replies, Valerie forwarded me your email. They are asking via public records request for a blank copy of the standing order that has been entered by the youth court. I'm not sure I know what is meant by a blank copy, but we don't have any blank copies of any standing orders. Please give me a call if you have any questions. And the response was that no such standing order exists. So either Robert isn't telling us the truth. Y'all understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Please hand all this out. This is Carla Pope.
So first we weren't able to see it, now it doesn't exist.
Now it
Right, now it doesn't exist.
And now it doesn't exist.
And didn't they tell the hospitals recently, didn't they tell y'all that they would reenact these forms, the 440s or whatever y'all used to get in youth court?
Yeah,
That he just wasn't aware that.
this
we
was
needed
the
to have
standing
that.
order that incorporated the hospitals in the
The ability
discharge.
to get a safety plan prior to
Mhm.
discharge.
All we wanted to see is what form did they come up with?
Yeah.
You know, what form did they come up with? He approved it this is from Robert. Youth court judge approved it. When he approved it, they sent it up to Jackson to CPS for their attorneys to do their little whatever, and it was all approved.
And
Robert,
now we're hearing it doesn't exist.
yes, Robert stated to us that we would have to get that from the youth court. So that's what, you know,
Tim said to do a public
public
record
records request.
request.
So we followed all the channels and now suddenly it doesn't exist. So I am so confused as to, we were told by attorney for CPS that this does exist and it was approved. It was approved by the youth court judge and the CPS in Jackson. We don't want to see any names. All we want to see is this blank order, this blank document, so we know what's on the document.
We know they exist, don't we?
Well, I will say that we had two patients recently that were discharged with safety plans, and we did get a copy of the safety plan. Now, it did feel like a scramble, and it felt like, I mean, it took a
Where'd
long
you get it
time.
from?
But we did get it from CPS.
Does it look like it's a new form?
It was not, it did not look like the one I'd seen previously. I'll
Okay.
Say that.
Yeah, but I gotta go, I'm so
Okay, thank
sorry.
you.
I
But I
gotta do
don't
budget
know-
hearings. I wanna say, Otis, congratulations.
Thank you.
On
On
your
what?
promotion,
On
he's a
what?
captain now.
Yay! Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's
That was,
That's
oh,
good
that's
stuff.
great.
Okay, so here is the response, the final response from Butch Dickinson. We don't have a form. Have a good weekend. That's.
I don't even know what to
So,
say.
I don't know what to say either.
I don't know why this is such secrecy on this form,
But
or,
that's part of the problem. I mean, why is it such a thing?
I don't know.
We're not
Does he really doesn't run, does he really not know there is one?
I have no idea. I guess I'm gonna have to call Robert.
So how do you, I mean, they told us that a standing order was entered. So that allow the hospitals to have the safety plans. So it either it's there or it's not.
I guess it's not, because he said there isn't one.
Well, we got one just
We
recently.
did get one, so
Somebody
that
might wanna share with the
confuses
judge
me
and
even
let him
more.
know there is one.
I'm just telling you. And this is, you have to just go round and around and around. I mean, which is so frustrating.
That's
Yeah.
part of the problem.
It is. I'll call Robert and say, hey, would you be able, well, he's the one that told us that he couldn't give it to us. They couldn't give it to.
Yeah,
we had
why
to get-
call Robert?
Yeah, because he's not gonna be able to give it to us. So how can
We
we
need to
get
get Robert and
this
Judge Diggins
report?
together.
It's just a
Yeah, that's what I'm
report with no names. It's just a report with no names. So, Otis, can you, can we get a judge to do a subpoena? And can you serve it?
And I'm gonna have to go in just a second because I'm involved in a custody case. But I've been going around with Tim, baby DJs. I was supposed to send
Right.
baby DJs
Right,
to,
right.
Tim so that he could finalize it and get it to Michael Thompson for local and private. And I get back from Tim that, Margaret, having reviewed the attached, I don't think a local and private bill can be passed as this suggests, essentially trying to create an Amber Alert for abused children. There are multiple problems with such. It would be my suggestion that we propose amendment to the statute that says report to CPS to also require reporting to youth court and law enforcement at the same time. I don't understand what his problem is with this. And I wrote him back and I said, I would like to talk to you about this. CPS is already statutorily required to report to law enforcement and youth court. The purpose of Baby DJ is to use today's technology, Facebook, et cetera, to locate the child. That's my point, is we have all of this technology now.
Right.
So I will be getting
But
with
things
him,
are
but
not-
I'm telling you,
Yeah, that,
Right.
so this is just what is
I
going
think
on
maybe
with
he
this.
just may not understand the.
I don't
whole-
think he,
Yeah, understand.
Tim is hung up on law enforcement.
Right.
And, arresting
And
them,
that's
and I
not- we're not-
certainly agree that
but
they
we're
ought to be
not-
arrested.
Yeah, but that's
But,
not our
but that
intention.
doesn't, no, that doesn't place the
I
baby.
think that.
And y'all know that he is hung up on that from previous things, and before I have to scoop.
Okay, so,
Take one of each one. And y'all also discussed when we meet with the governor, or whoever meets with the governor, a policy change. And so this is, and really, y'all, the medical folks need to come up with this, but this is a working example.
okay.
Beth, see, read it, see
this is
what
for
I'm
the drug,
talking
this
about.
is for the drugs thing, correct?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
This is a policy, when a baby is born positive for drugs, what needs to be done.
Okay.
And then I want to discuss my guardianship clinic, and then I gotta go, y'all. I got a kid that's got to get in school. So we gotta decide which parent gets him.
This would help the, yeah. This would help with the real
Can
one,
I help you
too.
in something
With
else?
his real one. This would help with the
Yes.
real one, yeah.
This would circumvent the interpretation.
Yes, right, absolutely.
Y'all chew on that a while, Beth. Y'all,
Okay.
particularly our medical folks. As some of you are well aware,
we started having clinics in Chantry. I did, to help relatives get, paperwork to get the
Right.
child in school. The way it works is they're vetted for indigency and then we have them. Y'all, it is getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Every case I had at the clinic this week, every case had CPS history. Every case had CPS history. One case in particular, a grandmother comes in, CPS, the biological mother is in jail in Rankin County. Biological father is in jail someplace else, both serving sentences. Biological mother gives birth in Rankin County. CPS hits the baby 4 days old and drops the 4-day-old baby with grandma, who's now 6 days old, and drop her 2, 3, and 4-year-old with grandmother and left.
Okay.
Her income is zero. Zero.
The grandmother's income.
Income is zero.
How can she live with babies?
And so her daughter, another daughter, took her in. This is all coming out this week in testimony.
Tuesday.
So the grandmother's basically homeless.
Well, her daughter took her in,
Gotcha. Okay.
With these
are-
kids, with 4
With
kids.
4 kids.
and the daughter has 2 already. So we got 6 little ones and a grandmother. And my point with CPS that was there, why don't you put these kids in custody, placed with grandmother, but let her go through the licensure process to get a board payment? And I'm just gonna say this, I feel like they use this scare tactic of, well, you might not be able to get licensed,
They said that. They did say that.
you know, which is
How
a
do we
real
know?
scare. Beth, you've
Yeah,
seen it a million
I get
times.
it, but there's a real contradiction in terms. You're not able to get licensed, but we're gonna put these kids with the.
But they don't
Yeah.
even know if she can get, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
yeah.
So, I mean, that's just one example. It's just egregious. I mean, this is, what if somebody dropped off a 4-day-old, a 2, 3, and a 4-year-old? And your income is zero.
How do you feed them?
Well, at least I gave her the paperwork to get them so she could get food stamps. See, without the custody order from me, my clinic,
Right.
she would have no way to even get food stamps for these kids.
So this,
She had no paperwork to have them.
and this isn't the only isolated
Every
isolated case.
case I
There are
had.
other cases. There's another case that they have 4 kids from, the one in the wheelchair.
Mhm.
They have the 4 kids and their income is very minimal. So I agree with you. So they're good enough to drop the kids off,
But you're not good enough.
but
to
you're
be
not, but
licensed.
they're not good enough to license?
Why aren't they
It does, it's
Why don't
contradictory.
you want these people to get money? I don't understand
I
that.
don't understand it either.
I just went ballistic. I said, all we're doing in this state is perpetuating another cycle of poverty. That's all we're doing.
I don't understand it, and
I want to invite everybody
You
to
guys need
come
to
to a
come.
clinic.
you guys need to come. It
When
is,
are your clinics?
it is crazy.
It is crazy. Every case I had CPS history.
Every
Every
case.
case.
When are your clinics?
The
I'll
next
send
one,
it to
I'll
you.
send it to you.
Yeah, I'll send you we have a clinic in August, September, and November.
Does CPS attend these clinics?
Well, I required them to attend this here clinic because there was such
But
significant.
there were safety plans. There were
Yeah,
safety,
I said, y'all need to come and tell me why you're sending them to my clinic instead of,
putting them in custody.
Right.
y'all, I'm just telling you, I don't know what we're doing, but it's
It's broken.
getting worse and
It's
worse
broken.
and
I don't
worse
understand
and
the
worse.
point of removing them with people if they can't be licensed, why are they with them?
Then how are they
should be
good
able to be
enough?
licensed and there should be a super fast, I don't know how fast is realistically possible, but there should be a super expedited
It's a fast track.
process.
Yeah, there's a
And
fast
that's
track.
what Michael Memorial did with Rescue 100. They had the expedited licensure
Packages.
in all
Right.
one weekend.
Why is that not realistic?
I don't know, but I really wish y'all would advocate for Michael Memorial to take Rescue 100 back over because it doesn't exist anymore.
They need to, I agree.
So in July of 24, I started getting my, re-upping my foster license. I had previously been a foster mother for 18 years. From July I never heard anything. It just, every time they asked me for something, I gave it to them, I gave it to them, I gave it to them. They just don't wanna license foster parents. I don't know what the problem is. So then, did everything I was supposed to do, still couldn't get my license. Well, they called me in December and said, I see that you were trying to get your license. I said, yeah, y'all got a broken system over there. And they said, well, if you would just, could you just take this child? And I said, well, I'm not licensed. She said, it's okay. It's one you'd had in the past and she's back. And so we prayed about it, called her back and said, yeah, we'll take this child. She was with me from, so December,
December 3rd.
yeah, they decided they were gonna fast track my license. They deleted everything I'd already done. Why? I'd already done everything, everything. Why would you not just do that? But everything was rejected and then I had to start fresh. So we started fresh. It still took 3 months to get licensed. So in this time, this child came for me from Christmas. Well, we had Christmas. She didn't have no clothes. She was in a hospital for 2.5 years. We had to get clothes, sports thing, everything. And when she was sick, I had to pay for it because she can't get Medicaid in the state of Mississippi because she's not in a licensed foster home, even though she's a ward of the state. And so because of all that, I didn't mind wiping out my savings because I knew I was gonna get my board payment. Never got it. They said they can't give it to me because I didn't have my license until March. And I gave it to the attorney here that day. He had nothing to do with it.
I don't know what to
That doesn't,
say.
she had to have been in DHS's custody.
She was in Tennessee in a mental hospital for 2.5 years.
Right,
They
right.
brought her back down here to testify to her dad's hearing. That's
Right.
how I wound up with it.
Y'all have to speak.
So-
Let me know how I can help.
Okay,
I
thank
gotta
you.
let me know
I'll
how I
probably
can
call
help
you about this letter to
So
write.
the odd thing about that is that she should have already been on Medicaid. The kid would have been on Medicaid.
I said no. And I threw a fit.
Medicaid said no, or?
I called Medicaid and CPS.
And Medicaid said she was not on Medicaid?
Nope, she was not on Medicaid. And she had an abscessed tooth and I lost my cool when I said, we were at the dentist and they told me $800. I'm like, I don't have $800 right now. And I called CPS and they said, well, just reschedule. We're trying to get, no, she's got an abscessed tooth. She's been crying in pain for 3 days. This infection could go to her brain. No, she's getting tested. She's getting her teeth fixed today. And
Have a copy of your policy. I would like to see
I
that.
don't-
I would like to see that question.
I'll go back
They
to
said
all
there's
the papers.
several questions like that are
Yeah.
very in-depth about your
That's
personal life.
Chris.
And someone, like they provide bank statements and there's a life insurance policy being withdrawn automatically every month. So they had to provide a copy of that life insurance policy. For what?
Yeah, they don't want foster parents and then they
So
yeah.
who's the beneficiary? The foster kid?
No.
CPS?
It's their
CPS?
own personal life insurance they had prior to getting these kids. And because it was being auto drafted out of the account, the bank records that they provided, they had to provide a copy of that. For what reason? The hoops that you have to jump through,
Yeah,
the
and
questions
that's
you have
why
to
foster
answer in
parents
that
quit before they
process.
even get started,
is
but you have some
ridiculous.
foster parents that have such a bad experience, they just give up, and they would be good foster parents, but they give up.
I can.
And I give up myself until Jeannie said, no, you gotta take that child. And
Right,
I-
which is probably why so many people are ending up in
Yeah,
guardianship.
Yeah.
you're correct with it.
Because
So,
they can't get.
That way we don't, we don't have to fix
Yeah,
a,
and we don't have to
broken
put, we
system.
don't add to the numbers. We don't add to the numbers of kids in legal system. in
If they're not
legal
officially in
custody.
custody, they're licensed.
okay, so, just moving on here, Carla, do we have a motion to accept Carla Pope's resignation from the Blue Ribbon?
I make a motion that we.
Make a motion to accept, and I think everybody was given a copy of that.
Yes,
correct? Okay.
yes.
So, do we have a second? Second? Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so, we want to thank Ms. Cope for her time here and, as well as being, chairperson. Okay, so the next one is is nominations for the empty committee seat. We're gonna go into executive session, for that. So going to discussion on co-chairs.
Since there were since Carla and also, Kim Haney, both are no longer serving on the board and they were co-chairs. there has to be, because of our bylaws, there has to be co-chairs for this committee. I'm the official secretary that gets all this stuff together, unless somebody else wants to do
No,
all
you
this.
do an outstanding job. Outstanding, outstanding job. Why mess with something that works, you know?
We need to name co-chairs. So if, we're leading the meeting, and if that, one co-chair can't be there, then the other co-chair can do the meeting. So there's 4 of you left, other than me. So out of the 4 of you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 of you. Can you sit tight until we talk about the APS?
Oh, sure.
So 1, 2, 3, 4 of you.
Can we table that till we get the other member in here?
Yeah, that might be a good
We
idea.
can just volunteer her.
What?
I think
I'm
that's
thinking
actually a
Okay,
very
so
good
we're gonna
idea.
table that,
Let's,
okay.
table that till we get our.
The other person.
The other person, okay.
So do we want to go into the executive session
If we
after
could-
the meeting?
Yes,
Yeah, okay,
yes.
sounds good.
So we kind of already
Talked
reviewed
about-
the, legal opinion.
Right,
that
and all,
came- Well, did everybody get a chance to review that? That was the legal opinion regarding, children being placed in foster care, right? And receiving, it had to do with,
the board pay,
The
there
board
was a
payments.
new thing. What was
Right.
that called? It's to do with the guardianship clinics, that they were going to have this new supportive services payment. And, Andrea Sanders at that Friday meeting said that supportive services payment would also include our guardianship clinic. And we found out that no, in fact,
it
it
does
does
not.
not.
it
So
has to be.
it has to be kids that are.
Kids that are in
Right,
custody.
right.
Okay.
So, anyway, that's
So if, and then the baby DJ law,
covered that.
my kid's status, we kind of went over that. The public records request to Harrison County Youth Court, we talked about that, that was. the-
Yeah, and I think, Tim Holloman is gonna have to do something on that to get that copy.
Right. And Judge discussed the guardianship clinic as well as some of the issues that she's
Right.
identifying. And is there any, other discussion from the one person here?
I think that we want,
Oh.
I
with
wanna
the
talk
spotlight
about-
on you.
I wanna talk about vulnerable adults, because
Okay, so that's next.
right. So as you know, Harrison County has the Advocacy Center, and I get calls all the time at the Advocacy Center, talking about, vulnerable adults. My neighbor is a vulnerable adult, and this is happening. I've called APS, and they're telling me that they can't do anything. And I go, that can't be so, because what you're telling me is these things are happening. She meets that criteria of having someone come out and do an assessment. They go, well, I see, I hear what you're saying, but they say that there's nothing they can do. And I would say at least, and I'm sure the hospital, has a lot of, stories
Oh,
on that,
yes.
on that also. So I'm thinking, okay, does another committee need to be developed like the Blue Ribbon Committee? Okay, because we're talking about the vulnerable, child, Can we also, maybe not at this time, but also expand our mission a little bit to include vulnerable adults? And I'm just putting that out there. I'm just putting that for you guys to think about. Because, whether they're a vulnerable adult or vulnerable child, these individuals need someone to speak up for them.
Because we have nobody.
Right, so I mean, I think the
Where
issue is
CPS,
protection.
we
So
at
Yeah, it
regardless
is
least
of whether
had
they're
somebody
children.
that would respond at some point. Granted, a lot of times it was under duress. but we would eventually get somebody there. With APS, we get nothing. They're in a safe place. That's what we get. They're in a safe place.
Oh, the hospital
Yes.
is a safe place.
Yeah, they're in a safe place.
Gotcha.
So it seems to have, it seems not to matter that somebody's taken all their money or they've taken, they've changed their bank account or closed their bank account, revoked their driver's license and stopped their social security check.
Oh, Lord.
That's okay because they're in a safe place. But we can't get any of that started again. And the person that's done this is a person that could help us with placement or whatever. So that's just one example. I mean, we're just,
You're at a standstill.
we're at a standstill. We have no one to help us, no one to help us advocate for that patient outside our four walls. We get nowhere. I mean, we do have one avenue now that's helping a little bit, and that is if we have no one, if the patient has no one, we can apply for conservatorship if it comes to that. But
They have someone, if their daughter or son or whoever is taking advantage of them,
Sometimes it's not a relative.
most often, it's their relative, most often.
so anyway, it's, yeah, I mean.
No, I get
whether
it
it's
because I get those
another-
calls all the time. And I have no avenue, either the ombudsman or call APS, and, we've had to call the ombudsman on, one of our cases, but APS, I think.
I wonder what, I wonder.
I think they're less.
What is it you do?
So this one case that I had turned in, this drug addict walked into this man's trailer that he was living in. The man was a paraplegic, senior. This drug addict beat him, took his money, took his food, and would not leave. And we got somebody over there, and APS went in, and they questioned the man in front of this guy,
Senior services.
and the guy was scared. And they told me there was nothing they could do about it, because the man didn't want to report him or do anything. I said, well, what did the man say? And she said, nothing. Because you questioned him in front of this guy who's abusing him. Just did nothing.
So would it be having them at the meeting, inviting them to come?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
So what we were talking about was inviting the,
Probably SMPD too.
SMPDD.
SMPD.
We get help from SMPDD.
yeah, that's what I
I
was
think,
thinking
yeah,
about.
so I think, Beth was suggesting that, to having them come and kind of share their experiences with, the vulnerable.
Because
adults
they would
Yeah.
probably see things
also.
first, I would think, so maybe getting some feedback from them.
What do they see in the community? How does APS help them? Is there another avenue for us to go through? Who do you talk to at SMPDD?
Jackie. And
Could you call her and say, hey, we discussed this at the Blue Ribbon, and Beth suggest, which is, by the way, good idea, I didn't even think of that, excellent. What are you seeing? Can you help us address this? Can you come to one of our meetings and tell us your experience with, and what we can do as a community to help the vulnerable adults, whether they're hospitalized or living on their own, or with, I guess, with a relative.
Yeah.
And what can we do as concerned citizens? Because if APS, because they're the state agency, just like CPS, we're supposed to be helping children. CPS helps children. APS helps seniors, the vulnerable. So if neither one of them are doing their job,
I'm like her, what exactly do they do?
something, it has to be brought to the attention. And that's why we're gathering all of this to take this to the governor, all of this stuff. We're gonna meet with the governor. Because he has to know, and in all honesty, with one swipe of the pen, not auto pen, but the pen, things can change, but I want to make sure that we, we need to make sure that we gather all this stuff. So because we have one shot with them. So we have to have all this stuff laid out and succinct and, address the most pertinent issues. So that would be August 15th?
At the next meeting, the August 15th. All right, so, and the letter submission from June?
Yeah, we're gonna table that.
Table those.
We've
Okay.
gone on here for,
All right, so, and that brings us to the update on memorial numbers for June. And I believe she
we all have a copy.
provided, we all have a copy of that for everyone's review. Is there anything that's significant here for, that's come out?
It's really no, we haven't had anything.
It looks like on
Different.
average, it looks like it's maintaining a same,
Yeah.
Are there any concerns or anything, Lauren and Kathy, on safety plans, on discharge, or,
but we still don't know, we don't have one.
well, she said she,
We got one.
Oh,
We
you got
did
one,
get one.
yeah.
And I mean, it addressed it. It looked different than in the one that we had seen in the past. It kind of took a little bit to get it, and there were some issues with it, but we got it.
good.
So that's a plus. But I mean, we're still sending babies home that are positive for things, and
Is there a way that we can do you keep records of how you send a baby home? Are they positive for drugs? And do you have any kind of statistics? That would be interesting. How many times do you guys send, CPS sends, when you guys do the safety plan, have the child been tested and they were positive for drugs?
we could probably pull it. I don't know that there's
Would it
a way to
take-
pull a report on it because we don't actually chart anywhere that they're positive. It's more notes and scanned in lab
I see.
results.
Gotcha. I do have a question. Out of, like, say, for June 2025, there's 18 reports. Out of those 18, how many come from the neonatal? Do you know?
We don't split them up.
I'm sorry.
Are you okay?
Yeah. So we wouldn't know in that number how
No.
many are,
I would say
Yeah.
the majority of them
Hang on,
are.
are you saying from the NICU specifically or babies?
babies.
That's
Let's
all
just-
babies, right?
This is
No.
all,
Oh,
It's not all babies.
that's kids too.
I would say the majority of them are,
the
but
majority are babies.
but it's not all.
Right, so there's no
It's
way
all of
to
our
break,
cases that are reported to CPS.
gosh. So there would be no way to break that down to be, okay, out of the 18,
Not without
10
going back
were-
and looking at every single child.
Gotcha.
So would you be able to surely you can pull like from zero, okay, are they from 0 to 5, 0 to 1?
Not without going back. and
Really?
looking.
So you guys don't keep those kind of statistics? Really? I find that interesting.
well, they're
We
not
haven't
really
had any-
tracking it.
Yeah,
They don't have any real need.
But the age of the patient, the age of the patient.
I think the problem comes from like the reports is that all of their stuff is notes. So it's not something that we can pull a report off of, so it has to be a manual data collection, not a.
Yeah,
That's a
all
good
of,
one.
all
for
of
you.
this is manual.
Really?
Well, thank you so much
Yeah,
for doing
thank
that. That's
you.
really,
I didn't realize that. I thought
Excellent.
you just, from, all the, the assessment, when you get, their patient when they do the intake or whatever, you would have their age, birth date, and I thought you could sort on all that kind of stuff.
No, this is strictly,
this is strictly what you're keeping.
Whoa.
this is strictly not
No.
either.
So no,
But
But
this
I-
is just
just
strictly
because
giving
I know
us.
the cases, I know some of them did not go home, but I can't tell you how many.
Right.
So discharge. That would be
But if you
interesting.
look at the number that were positive for a hard illicit substance versus the number that go home. You know, I mean, it is gonna be a skewed because they are still going home. with
Yeah,
us.
it's just a small number, very small number.
That they're taking custody.
And most of those, they don't even take custody, because like the one we got the CPS or the safety plan on did not get officially removed. It was a safety plan. Because I've learned that, you know, I mean, that's a whole different term. Taking custody is much stricter than
A
Safety.
safety plan. Safety plan is a Band-Aid.
yes.
Out of curiosity, what did they have on the safety plan?
Honestly, don't remember, but I do think I kept a copy in my office
Okay.
to look back at, so I could make notes off of.
Can you,
So maybe
okay,
we could,
can you make a copy of that and then white out all
I'll
the,
take everything out.
take everything out and just bring us a copy of it?
Maybe, we'll check with legal.
Yeah,
because they may not be.
just
able to
white
do this.
white out all the information. All I
Yeah.
want to see is the form.
Right, but they,
That's what they already said doesn't exist and they can't give us, so. I would
They
have-
say, they're saying it doesn't exist, but you have it.
But I don't know if that's because it's what they created in that moment, or if it's actually a form that was created, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it is,
Well, we could ask
is
Robert.
Can we get
handwritten
it simply,
from-
can we get a blank
We
copy?
could ask Robert.
well, that's what we were
no,
asking
we've already
for.
tried, that's what we asked for. They're saying it doesn't exist.
I mean, from the hospital.
Well, that's
That's
their,
why I felt
that's
like I
their
need to say.
records, I
Yeah,
don't
it's-
know if they
It's
can
not
release.
our form, it's their.
It's,
They don't
right,
know they have.
I don't know, I don't know, that
I
would
don't know
be
See,
where to
something.
go
see
on
if you
that.
check with legal, check
Yeah, I'll
with
check
legal,
with
see if
legal.
you guys whited out everything on there, everything. I just want to see the form.
Just until it's a blank, completely blank form.
With no information on there.
I don't think, I would think there would.
We
be
don't
a
need the
problem
patient
with that,
number,
but
we don't need the
yeah, but
patient
we'll
name,
ask.
we don't need to know the safety plan, what was on the safety, we just want the blank form.
Yeah, they might run into a little bit of trouble, given the fact that it's.
I think if
You're
they
you're
hadn't
talking
already
about
said no.
releasing it through to a third party that really
Yeah.
has no,
Well, I think if they hadn't already said no, it would be a different thing, but the fact that it was already said no.
No, they said it didn't exist.
But first they said no.
Oh, because,
Remember? First they
because,
said we couldn't.
because of the confidentiality, okay, whatever.
So I don't know, I just,
But
yeah.
if it, I don't get why a blank form is confidential.
Because it's not
it
copyrighted.
doesn't exist.
It's really confidential
It's,
then.
lists seem to be disappearing all over the place.
It doesn't.
It's all I'm saying.
We'll check, I
We'll check.
don't know
Oh,
why
Okay.
why a
Okay,
completely
good.
blank form would be a problem, but.
Right.
Make sure.
Okay, so new reports or concerns? Anybody?
So many concerns,
Okay,
but
so many concerns we ran out of time. Okay, so our next meeting is August 15th. I'm assuming we're gonna be in.
yes, we'll be in here, because
In
we
here.
have budget hearings in the boardroom, so.
Okay,
And then I think what we're gonna do now, Sarah, would you see if they could turn the thing, because we're gonna have an executive session for personnel issues. We don't want that, so the committee's gonna have some personnel, things that we're gonna talk about for the next few minutes. Oh, motion for,
oh, please make a motion to adjourn. Is there a motion?
Make a motion, we adjourn the meeting.
second it,
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
See y'all next time.
Bye. Thank you.
thank you.
I really need to go, so, but this is just gonna be a couple minutes, right?
Yeah,
Uh-huh,
this
okay,
is
it's
just.
like 2 minutes.
We have to replace, I think we have.
As soon as they're done.
Okay, just give me one sec. I know that,